Welcome to Co-Pilots, the podcast where we watch not just the first episode of a show. I feel like I'm in the wrong here.
Yeah, how many times do I have to tell you that we don't have to do that for this one? It's like every time, man.
It just feels right. It feels right when I sit down in my pilot's chair to be like, welcome to Co-Pilots.
Yeah, I don't know why you brought your pilot's chair into the lounge. It's weird.
No, this is the cockpit. The lounge is the one where we have other people on with us.
Oh shit, I'm in the wrong place this time. God, fuck. Okay, wow, that would explain why I can't see you?
Yeah, it's also why you're coming in over the radio and not in person.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're always wearing these headsets, so, like, I never really thought about how it was recorded. I just thought it was captured on our headset mics. Is it not?
I mean,
It always comes over the radio, doesn't it?
technically.
Yeah. Alright, so, give me a moment. I'll get to the cockpit.
A few moments later.
Okay, so, that's the one where we do topics, right?
Topics.
Webster's Dictionary defines a topic as...
Please continue the bit.
Oh, I fucking can't. I don't know what Webster's Dictionary defines a topic as. I didn't have that shit pulled up.
Please continue the bit. I want to hear this. What does Webster's Dictionary define a topic as?
I mean, it probably defines it as a word, and I would assume it defines it as a noun.
Oh yeah, topics aren't adverbs.
I mean, not as far as you know. I don't know. I haven't checked Webster's. Maybe it's a fucking verb or an adjective. I don't know.
It's a pronoun. He, she, they, them.
Yeah.
Topic.
But Webster's defines a topic as the subject of a discourse or of a section of a discourse, or as a heading in an outlined argument or exposition, or one of the general forms of argument employed in probable reasoning.
I think it's definition 1. I think that's the one we have.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so did you come from the pilot's lounge all the way here to the cockpit with any topics?
Yeah, they really need to, like, fix the lighting in between here, like, in the concourse between the lounge and here. Like, it's been on the fritz for, like, the past few weeks.
Do you just mean they need to turn the lights off because they have lights on?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Too many lights, man. Like, we really just need those ones, you know, down on the floor by the sides and, like, the red ones on the ceilings with the arrows. And that's only because we legally have to have those.
So I'm taking that as a no.
Yeah, no topics. My topic was Webster's definition of topic.
So I recently started playing Starfield.
Yeah?
Which, according to the trailers and stuff, is Bethesda's first new IP in 15 years?
That's not something for them to brag about.
Maybe it was only 10 years. I don't know, but it was...
Still not something for them to brag about.
Because the only property they've been releasing is Skyrim, over and over again.
Yeah.
And I guess if you're talking about new IP, Skyrim and Fallout don't count, because
yeah, no,
those aren't new IP. So, like, the first new IP in, like, 15 or 20 years or something like that?
No, not 20 at least, because Dishonored is Bethesda.
Okay, so minimum 10 years, but that's all besides the point, because...
I mean, I think the first Dishonored game came out before 2014, so, like...
Yeah, so a minimum of 10 years.
Oh, yeah, minimum of 10.
So... all new era Bethesda RPGs.
Yeah.
Skyrim, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, they all feel kind of soulless. Like, that's not necessarily,
they do.
That's not necessarily a discriminating point. Like, I'm not, like, criticizing them for that. Like,
it's Bethesda's style.
Because, like, the soullessness of the game makes it very much a, like, create your own fun, create your own adventure. Like, and that can be fun. Because, like, in Fallout 4... AKA
Minecraft exists for a reason.
Yeah. In Fallout 4, like, I have had a lot of fun with that game. Building bases, outfitting, making all my settlers wear specific clothing, like...
Running in a dictatorship?
Yeah. All of my normal guys get to wear, like, 3-piece casual suits.
Yeah.
And then all of my, like, guys who are equipped with weapons and, or, like, guard duties have to wear tuxedos and hats and...
weirdest military outfits ever for a dictatorship, but okay.
And then all my women have to wear dresses.
Wow. Okay.
Look, the dresses just look really good in that game, okay? Some of the dresses are really, like,
okay, sure,
peak design. I love pre-war fashion in Fallout games.
Yeah, it's actually not bad.
Like, I'm sorry that means most women get dresses. But my point is, I've had a lot of fun with Fallout 4. And part of that fun is that Fallout 4, you can feel like you're accomplishing something.
Do you? I've never felt like I was accomplishing something in Fallout 4.
I put 16 hours into Starfield, and never felt like I accomplished anything. In fact, in order to try to do what I was trying to do, I had to spend like at least 2 or 3 hours of that 16-hour playtime figuring out how to prevent one of the factions from arresting me for committing theft. I will admit, I pickpocketed people because it was one of my starting skills, and I was trying to, like, get to the point where I could level it up.
Yeah.
I never got caught. How did I have a bounty for it?
Cameras. You're in the future. Cameras are everywhere.
fair, but it tells you if you've been spotted.
And you didn't notice the camera. How would you know you got spotted? It's called immersion.
It's not immersive.
I'm not going to tell you if you fail your sneak check.
It's annoying as fuck because I had to go into one of the consulates for this faction in order to continue a mission, and like every time I went in, they're like, "Hey, you there? We need to arrest you," and like they were just arresting me and like making me pay my bounty, or like that would have been okay. But no, it's them arresting you for the first time in the game leads to a quest line where you have to go undercover as a pirate and derails everything else in the game because pirates are like 50+% of the enemies you encounter.
I don't think it derails everything else in the game. I think what you mean is you actually get on the rails now because that's what you're supposed to be doing.
No, because that's a side quest.
No, it's not.
That's all a secondary quest.
No, you're meant to do that quest.
I was working with Constellation to do the main quest stuff. I was doing main quest stuff. That was trying to derail me.
Yeah, I want you to do that too. They made it. You're supposed to do it.
Anyways, game sucks. I will often leave game sessions on like Fallout 4, Skyrim, or even Oblivion, feeling like I have wasted my time and accomplished nothing.
Fair.
But like the actual time I was playing the game, I enjoyed it.
Okay, fair enough.
So like that's a trade-off I'm willing to take. Like,
yeah.
Starfield was not that case. I didn't ever feel like I was actively enjoying what I was doing. And part of it might be because like, so every time you want to go to a new planet, and I mean a new planet, not like a planet you've already been to. Yes. Every time you want to go to a new planet, you have to get into your ship, which is a loading screen. You then have to launch your spaceship, which is essentially a glorified cutscene that is a loading screen.
Yes, it's a hidden loading screen.
Then you have to open up the interstellar map once you're in space around the planet you started on, and plot out a warp drive path between planets you've already gone to until you're close enough to warp to the planet you want to. And every one of those warp drives, 3, 4, 5 planets worth of warp drive pathing, is another loading screen.
Nice.
And then you finally get to the planet you've been trying to go to, and you have to scan the planet to find a landing spot, and then landing is another loading screen.
Nice.
And then to get out of your ship is another loading screen. So bare minimum, you're looking at 5 loading screens to get to a new planet.
Seems fun. They're loading in an entirely new planet.
But it often ends up being more like 7, 8, 9 loading screens because you have to jump between planets you've already been to before you can get to the planet you're trying to go to.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
And I know my computer is now like 6 years old.
Yeah.
Which means it's no longer like as peak as it was when I built it. The fact is, 5 loading screens is going to be like minimum 7, 8 minutes.
Yeah, probably.
And that's a lot of time to just sit at my computer and do nothing.
It's a lot of time for you to sit there and be like, oh, I'm playing this game. Huh. Yeah.
I don't want to talk shit about Starfield, but like it's hard not to. And like
I've noticed, I've seen the internet.
The fights are like they're not hard, but if you get outnumbered, if you get outnumbered and you're out in the open, you are dead. Like
fair,
which is fair. That's how gunfights go in real life too. Like honestly, gunfights are pretty lethal, but like as long as you like don't just get surrounded, the gunfights in Starfield are not even just breezy, but like inconsequential.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy?
Yeah, except when I say that, I feel like I'm having fun, which is something I didn't have in Starfield. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. That phrase is more fun than Starfield.
You know what's more fun than Starfield?
What's that?
Malifaux.
I don't know what that is.
You know what a Malifaux is, you just don't know the word for it off the top of your head. A Malifaux is when you combine 2 turns of phrase incorrectly. Malifaux.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I could see just about any Malifaux being more enjoyable than Starfield.
Yeah, so can I. I'm not even the sharpest stake in the attic.
I think that was like 3.
Yeah, it's a Malifaux. Maybe it's fun.
But yeah, the only good thing I can say about Starfield is I didn't buy it. I was borrowing it from a friend via Steam Family Share.
Yeah.
And this is my biggest endorsement for Steam Family Share. If your friend makes a mistake and buys a bad game for $70 at launch, you don't have to also make that same mistake.
You weren't gonna be forced to make the same mistake anyways.
Oh yeah, I didn't buy it even before he had his library attached to my computer. So... But it was a game I've, like, continuously looked at and been like, I want to play it. But, like, the cheapest I've ever seen it on Steam is, like, $30. And I was like, I don't want to play it for $30. And then I got to play it for free. And you'd think, playing it for free, I could be like, oh, it wasn't that bad.
No, I don't. Not with everything about Starfield. Like I said, I have seen the internet.
The worst part is, my friend who bought that game was, like, debating between buying Starfield or Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon.
Yeah.
And he bought Starfield and put too many hours into it the first day.
No.
Partially because of loading screens, that he couldn't refund it. And he still hasn't bought Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon.
Yeah.
And I'm 100% sure Armored Core 6 is a more enjoyable game than Starfield.
It also has replay value. Like when you beat the game and go back, things will be different if you're playing on the new mode.
So does Starfield. That's Starfield's entire gimmick.
Yeah.
Like,
except Starfield seems like a bad game where those changes don't really mean much. It's just fun and wacky for the most part from what I've seen.
Well, you can become your own apprentice.
Yeah, you can also walk into a room that's just filled with yous from different dimensions. Ooh, so funny. So quirky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think what I'm saying here is Starfield, not a good game?
Yeah, fair. Fair enough.
Other than that, I have one other conversation point. Well,
Yeah.
I guess I could talk about Saw a little bit. I've been rewatching Saws.
You were, yeah.
And I've now watched up through Saw 6.
Okay.
And Saw 5 was the last Saw movie I've seen before this, although I don't think I'd ever seen Saw 4 before I started watching this run-through.
No idea. I don't know what you've seen of Saw and what you hadn't.
And Saw 6 was good. Saw 5, I spent the entire time watching that movie, because I've seen it before, being like, man, if you just work together, like,
Yeah.
the people in the traps kill somebody, so like, we only have 3 of these little tunnels that we can climb in to avoid the bomb, and I'm like, but the tunnels are big enough to put more than one person in.
Yeah.
The movie was...
And it's not even like one of those upon reflection things. It's like the first time I was actively watching the movie, I went, even from the first trap, oh, everyone can survive this first trap. Get at the second trap. Oh, everyone can survive the second trap.
Even before the movie reveal, so in the first trap, they're all attached to these like saw blades and razors and like ropes or chains,
still cables,
and they only have so much still cable. But in front of them is a box with a key, and there's a box with a key in front of all 5 of them.
Yep.
And all of their cables are linked together, so if one person runs out, other people can't because they don't have the cable to do it. But even before the movie tells you itself, even before the movie's like, oh hey, all 5 keys were the same, you just needed one key, and everybody could have got out of that trap. It's like, if you just take turns, everybody getting their key, you have more than enough time to do this.
Or one person gets their key, and then gets the keys for everyone else.
Like, there's no reason...
They are no longer chained to the death machine.
There's no reason why anybody has to die in this trap. You have more than enough time to just be sane human beings. Mm-hmm. But Saw 5 was like probably...
legitimately the only one that's going to cause you actual, like, real pain would be the last trap. Because even the electric trap, with enough people, the amount of electricity passing through them, it's going to be, like, an uncomfortable shock, but it's not going to be, like, harmful. Whereas the last one, yeah, it wants some of your blood and not a lot, but it is still gathering with a fucking bandsaw blade.
If there's 5 of you in that final trap, and it needs 2 pints of... Not 2 pints. 2 pints of blood from each of you. That's actually a lot of blood to, like, give away from your hand. That saw's going to do some fucking damage.
Yeah, the circular saw's gonna be fucking horrible. Honestly, the saw's not gonna do that much damage. You put your fucking hand into the saw, and then pull your hand back. Your arms just be in there to fucking open the thing. You don't hold your hand continuously into the saw. You don't need to do that.
Even more important than that, if there's all 5 of you, and you were unconscious for who knows how long,
and there are holes in the side because it has a little fence, you just piss in it.
Yeah. It needs 10 pints. The average person pisses 1.5 pints a day. Like,
you should be good.
Like, you're still gonna need some blood. You'll still need some blood, but like, if everybody has if everybody's full up on piss, you need like 1/2 pint of blood each.
Because you're gonna miss, because the side grading is like even with the thing, but you just gotta angle it up. It's definitely gonna be harder for the women, maybe impossible. But they had like 3-4 guys in their original group. They had 3 guys in their original group. Like, that's 3 pints, like bare minimum, basically.
Well, that's 1/3 of the blood you need.
Exactly.
Just in piss. 1/3.
Like, neither of the 2 people who even make it there even try to break the safety glass, which, yeah, it's safety glass, but you got more than enough time to at least attempt it.
Yeah, like, I'm not, like, Saw 5 was the worst Saw movie in the 6 Saw movies I've seen so far.
Fair.
But nobody even tried to piss in it.
Yeah, or break the glass. Like, you have two completely viable options there.
I like that this is the point I've reached in my Saw movie watching where I go, just piss in the jar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Starfield and Saw, and I do have some wrestling to talk about if we want to get to that, but mostly my wrestling conversation is, fuck Stephanie McCurr, like, you canceled on all those dates with other companies because WWE wanted to sign you. Like, at least fulfill your obligations. That's mainly what I have to say.
Fair. I have also been playing a new game. It's called Prodigal.
Mm-hmm. You're Zelda-like.
It's very much early, but not too early Zelda-like. Like, basically the handheld era Zeldas. And it's just a fun game. Like, it's not overly large or complicated, but whenever someone tells me they have, like, a top-down 2D, like, action adventure RPG that's like Zelda, and it all ends up being a fucking lie. It's like, hey, you have a sword. You're gonna go fight these enemies. No puzzles, no fun, actual, like, stuff to it, or puzzle solving, or like neat tools or mechanics. It's just go kill this thing.
It's actually wild to me how many games get called Zelda-likes when they have such an emphasis on combat. Like, Because if you've played a Zelda game, and I think this is true even up to like Breath of the Wild and...
You only like really ever have to fight bosses.
Yeah, like fighting I guess that's not true in some of the new ones. Sometimes you have to go like hunt enemies down to get items to make clothing and armor, but like...
No, you don't. If you want to, you can.
Fair enough.
Literally think Breath of the Wild, you can just go fight Ganon and beat Ganon.
Fair enough.
You have to fight a few enemies in the very opening tutorial area, but that's it.
But like in Zelda, normally you should just be avoiding enemies.
Mm-hmm. Like the early Resident Evil games. Why are you fighting shit if you don't have to?
You have a limited number of bullets.
If you can walk past it, walk past it.
In Link's case, it's not a limited number of bullets, it's a limited number of hearts and healing.
And a limited amount of time. There's this giant weird guy who's intent upon destroying Hyrule.
Or Moon.
Intent upon destroying Lowrule.
Is it called Lowrule?
Yes.
That's... Okay.
Honestly, I actually don't know. It's not.
Okay. I've not played Majora's Mask.
No.
I know
but it is intent upon destroying Clock Town. Though Lowrule is a thing that exists, I think. Like the Mirror World thing, I believe.
Okay.
Lowrule's a thing, or it's a fan-made thing. I've seen it mentioned. But, no. Clock Town isn't like its name as some, like, riff on time.
It is in A Link Between Worlds.
Yeah, Lowrule.
It is the Dark Mirror of Hyrule. You were exactly right.
Yeah, Majora's Mask is like a time-based name. I don't remember, but...
It's really funny because even the wiki's like, it's mostly the same as Dark World, so most people just call it Dark World. Yeah. But like, you're right, it's called Lowrule.
Termina, the land of Majora's Mask is called Termina.
Huh, okay. I've never heard it called Lowrule before.
Yeah.
It sounded like you were speaking out your ass.
No, I knew Lowrule was a thing. I just was like, ah.
And I was like between...
Yeah.
And I was like, you mean Dark World?
No, I don't.
Okay, that's my bad. I'm the stupid one.
But Prodigal is very much just like actually what I'm looking for when someone tells me they have like a Legend of Zelda like that.
I watched you play some of it, and I came to two conclusions while watching you play some of it.
Yep.
One, some of the puzzle areas are gaming I couldn't play, not because the puzzles were hard, but because I was continuously experiencing anxiety watching you try to not dash off of like shallow edges.
That was my bad. I had my run set to a toggle button because I was playing on keyboard and mouse, but my mouse is a trackpad, so I was playing on keyboard, and the mouse actually doesn't matter for that game. But I didn't like the way my hands had to be positioned, and I prefer it on controller, but it was really just checking some stuff, right? And showing you briefly what it was. And so I had it set to a toggle and kept forgetting to toggle it off.
Well, that explains that. I'm going to pin that for a second because I do want to come back to playing with mouse and keyboard. But the second thing I realized while watching you play Prodigal is that a lot of puzzles in not only Zelda games, but Zelda likes, are the same kind of puzzles you find in early Pokemon games.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah. Cool.
It was also the best part of Pokemon, in my opinion. I just liked doing the gym puzzles.
Oh, my favorite part about Pokemon is grinding your Pokemon up levels until they no longer listen to you, and then having to sigh and go fight a gym leader because now you have to have a badge for your Pokemon won't listen to you anymore.
Yeah. See, I also like grinding, but that's why I just played JRPGs instead.
Pokemon is a JRPG. It has 151 in the early generation possible teammates for your team, and you choose 6 of them.
I like no story, so it was a bad JRPG.
Fair enough.
So,
not to derail Prodigal.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's basically all I had on it. Main story can be done pretty quickly, but there's a lot of stuff to do outside of it.
Because
apparently.
There's a time system in the game, right?
Yes. Yeah.
It counts days and...
Yeah, but it's not necessary to, like, you can take however long you want to really beat it. There's some achievements for beating it sooner or whatever. But honestly, doesn't matter too much. It's just neat. There's so much shit that you can do afterwards.
There's also a marriage system.
Yeah, there is.
And I know you were telling me about this one woman you married.
Not on purpose, which I can clarify because that automatically sounds a bit weird.
I swear I didn't marry her on purpose.
Look, I just got really fucking drunk in the end, okay? It's like, a weird story plot that
it's
can
like
happen.
that Carrie Underwood song. I think it's Carrie Underwood. I don't even know my last name.
Don't even know his last name.
No,
I don't fucking know. I don't know Carrie Underwood or country music, but...
You're not wrong. The lyrics progress. She's like, I don't even know his first name. I don't even know his last name. And then because like the song's about her waking up married in Vegas.
Okay, fair.
The very end of the song is like, I don't even know my last name. Yeah.
Okay, cool. But, so when you get far enough along in a relationship with someone, like, you don't have to be, like, trying to romance them, but just, like, interacting with characters that will move you along that track, basically. Doing some quests for them, or, like, honestly just going to, I guess, objectively the wrong or right location at the wrong or right time, depending on if you want to progress in a track with them, we'll do so. And I ended up triggering the moment in the game where when you hit the, like, landmark point in that relationship with a character, the game presents you with the option to marry them. It's like, you can propose, yes or no. And I hit no, but apparently the character is a yandere, and just actively told me that was not an option, and then I got married, which is probably the safest option, because I do think maybe she's an assassin. She makes poisons and stuff, that's like canonical, though she won't sell them to me, because the guy, the lawman in town says no. I think she's on the run from an evil empire. There's a guy who's there with her, who's like a friend, who
This is amazing.
has you sneak to listen into a conversation in a tavern because they would spot him and know. And then after spying on them, he's just like, cool, don't worry about that, though it's knights from a different kingdom and stuff. I'm talking about trying to find some lady who I think is the lady who married me, and I don't think I even know her real name, so there's the Carrie Underwood reference.
It is, by the way, the song is called Last Name.
Nice. And then he goes off to, I think, try to kill an empress? I don't fucking know.
The story in this game sounds wonderful. Like,
I assume I get more knowledge of that in the post-game if I continue along through it, but I started on my laptop and then moved to the Steam Deck, and it doesn't have cloud saves, so...
Because you got a Steam Deck.
I did get a Steam Deck as well.
How is that?
It's like a big handheld.
It's kind of like just a computer, though, right? Like,
Yeah. I don't know. I play games on it sometimes.
Sometimes. Other times you watch Twitch on it.
Yeah.
Other times you accidentally watch wrestling on it.
No?
Yeah, that one time.
No? I don't think so, bud.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was weird.
Because you were trying to, like, cast it.
Yeah, I was trying to cast some things and, like, see how it hooked up, and it was weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was odd. I forgot about that.
It's
The Steam Deck doesn't like being on multiple screens at once. And then when you're in desktop and you try to launch Steam again, especially on dual screen, it gets really weird and doesn't know what it wants to do.
Probably because it's just meant to be in big picture mode.
Yeah, probably. But it's fine. I got my Steam library on it, my Epic library, your Amazon library, and your GOG library. But I still haven't got your Amazon library to work. I need to figure that out.
Yeah, because it turns out, being an Amazon Prime member for
years.
11 years now, I have given Amazon so much money. But
Gross.
turns out giving Amazon a whole bunch of money gets you a whole bunch of free games
Fair.
over time, and they've just been like getting added to a library that I barely look at.
Yeah, there's not a lot of great things in there, but there's a few that look fine.
No, there's the Turok remaster in there, and I love Turok.
I said there's not a lot of things that look great in there. I stand by my statement.
I just got...
Why would I want to hunt dinosaurs? They're obviously on the endangered species list.
I just got TNMT Shredder's Revenge on my Amazon Prime library.
That's neat.
My brother-in-law has an arcade cabinet.
Yeah,
for
I was
that.
literally about to say, why would I want to play it on that, though, when I can just play it on an arcade cabinet?
Yeah. I did mention that I had some wrestling stuff. Mainly, Stephanie Vaquer was the CMLL Women's Champion. She also was a CMLL Tag Team Champion, and she was signed to CMLL.
That's a big-time Latin America brand.
Yeah, it's the oldest wrestling promotion in the world.
Yeah.
But she was signed to CMLL. She did a show with AEW.
I prefer A and W. Like,
so does Danhausen. That's what he thought he got signed to originally. He was very upset to find out he doesn't get free root beer as a part
honestly,
of his
I would be too. Yeah.
Yeah. But she was part of Forbidden Door. She had a championship match with Mercedes Moné, formerly known as Sasha Banks. And I was really rooting for her to win that because, like, I love the idea of a non-AEW wrestler winning an AEW championship and taking it.
So do I, just because it feels like,
It really feels like the title builds prestige that way. Like, when you take a title to a different country, to a different promotion, and defend it.
Well, that, and I don't think AEW's lost their belt to anyone not on their promotion as of yet, to, like, one of the other brands.
Yeah. One of the other companies,
feels incongruous with the way the rest of it's shook out so far.
And like, so Mercedes won. It was a belt for belt match. So Mercedes ended up winning the New Japan Women's Strong title. Yeah, which was honestly like basically made for her. Like that's why NJPW made that title. She just got injured in her original match to get it. So it makes sense that it would end up on Mercedes Moné. But after that match, apparently, or during the build up to Forbidden Door, Stephanie Vaquer got a lot of attention. AEW was trying to sign her after her CMLL contract went up. Like, they were AEW was very upfront. Like, hey, when your CMLL contract ends, we would like to sign you. But WWE was like, hey, we don't care about your CMLL contract. We will pay any money that it would cost to break that. We want you literally right now. And so she dropped her CMLL titles, was stripped of them by CMLL, and just left the company.
Nice.
Which I have less issues with her doing that than I have with the fact that she was booked for dates for New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong shows. For this month. And she was also booked for Rev Pro shows in the UK for next month. And Rev Pro and NJPW Strong, because NJPW Strong is an American segment of New Japan, are both much smaller promotions, and like they literally live and die off their ticket sales to live events. Yeah. And the fact that they've been building these live events up with Stephanie Vaquer being like a poster,
a big draw, a sell point.
And now she's just dropped out of those because WWE came knocking. Yeah. It feels really nasty.
Yeah, it definitely sucks.
Like, but yeah, that's mostly my wrestling bit right now. Hangman Adam Page is back, and he's maybe a heel now.
Who knows?
Or a very justified, very angry face because the person he's mad at broke into his home and threatened to kill his 1-year-old child.
Wrestling.
It's honestly the best. Wrestling is the best. And now the person that threatened to kill a literal baby is the top champion of AEW and one of the top faces, one of the top good guys in AEW. Even though
that's because he doesn't have a dinosaur on his team.
He literally threatened to kill a child less than a year ago.
Wrestling.
Yeah. I love wrestling.
You know what has as convoluted a story as wrestling, but arguably told better and doesn't make me go, insert thing there? The Cosmere, of which I have read 3 more books in the Cosmere.
Okay.
Listen to them. The 3 books from the Secret Projects Kickstarter that Brandon Sanderson did.
The time he wrote 5 books in a year by accident?
4, I believe?
It was 5.
Okay.
The Kickstarter was originally for 4, and then he was like, oops, guys, I lied. You hit the stretch goal. I actually wrote 5.
What's the fucking 5th book?
I don't know. It's not out yet.
Because I could have sworn there was only 4.
I'll go look it up. But...
I mean, there might have been 5, but I read 3 of the 4 books from the year of Sanderson, and all 3 of the ones in the Cosmere were great. They do approach storytelling a bit differently than he has in his other books, at least in the Cosmere, and from other books of his that I've read. And honestly, they all, again, have really great fucking magic systems. Man knows how to write a magic system so fucking well. But one of them has, like, a character from the rest of the Cosmere that we've seen in one of the ongoing stories, and it's set in his future, like the future of his life, his timeline.
Okay.
And it makes so many questions for what shit's about to go down for everything. Just so many questions. But yeah, Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, The Sunlit Man, Tress and the Emerald Sea, all great books.
My bad. It wasn't part of the Kickstarter. He just wrote it at the same time he wrote these 4 books. It was...
I was really sure the Kickstarter was just before.
It was the Lost Metal,
yes.
Mistborn Era 2, The Alloy of Law, and Shadows of Self.
Yeah.
Which he wrote at the same time he wrote these 4 books.
Yeah, the one after the Bands of Mourning, the newest book in Mistborn Era 2.
Yeah. He just wrote all 5 of those books in the same year.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was fairly certain that came out recently. I couldn't remember if it was before the year of Sanderson or not, but I was like, there's not 5 books in the Kickstarter.
It wasn't technically part of the Kickstarter, it just happened at the same time.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Because the man's insane.
You're not wrong. I do want to read the Frugal Wizard's Handbook for Surviving Medieval England, I think is the name of it. Or the Middle Ages. It's the other book in the year of Sanderson.
Okay, that's one of his YA novels, right?
Yeah, kind of, I guess, I think.
He has an entire YA series that's...
Yeah, it's not one of those series, it's just a book, but I do need to read some of his other books.
I did see a little bit of a spicy take about Mistborn specifically.
Go ahead.
And the take was, if Brandon Sanderson was a woman, Mistborn would be considered a young adult series.
Mistborn is a young adult series.
It's not marketed that way.
He has it was originally marketed as young adult. That's what he put it out as.
It's not what his publisher markets it as.
Not anymore.
It's not what it's sorted as in the libraries.
Not anymore, but that's what it was originally attempted to be published as.
It's considered adult fantasy.
I know, but he originally pushed for it to be like young adult because he read young adult books.
It's definitely a young adult series.
Yeah, it's like just as young adult as like The Reckoners.
Yep. 100% agree.
Like, it's not wrong.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Really, it just comes down to the fact that a man wrote it, and a man is our opening character for the book series, like one of the big important characters, just by being told from the point of view of a woman.
And just by dying 70% of the way through the first book in the...
Yeah.
In the first trilogy.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with young adult novels. Young adult novels can be fucking fantastic.
No, some of my favorite books are young adult novels. Yeah. Like, I mean, Perks of Being a Wallflower is in my top 3 favorite books of all time. Fair. It is a young adult novel. Like, it's a coming-of-age story. Like, my other top 2s are not young adult novels, but they are, like...
I can't give you tops of books. It doesn't work. I'm not good at it. I'm not good at giving the top for anything.
I have a top 3, but honestly, I should go back and reevaluate my top 3 because, like, I've since read The Wise Man's Fear and Name of the Wind, which are 2 of the best fantasy books of all time. And compared to you, I'm like tiptoeing in the shallow end of the Cosmere.
Yeah.
But my top 3 are Perks of Being a Wallflower, is my number 1 book of all time.
Yep.
Amazing book, amazing coming of age story. The movie is such a letdown compared to the book, but like it always was going to be. Yeah. And the movie's fine. The movie is fine.
Other than having Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
Who does a fine job, but Ezra Miller's still in it.
And a close number 2 is The Ocean at the End of the Lane, which is my favorite Gaiman novel.
It is a great Gaiman novel.
And then my 3rd favorite book is American Gods, which is another Gaiman novel.
Fair.
And I always kind of like look at American Gods, and I think at this point it's probably one of Rothfuss's books is actually my number 3.
Fair enough.
But American Gods and Ocean at the End of the Lane both being there, like just 2 of my comfort books at this point in life. Like,
yeah,
I love those books. Ocean is so good.
I mean, I get that, especially like Partially because they're comfort books. One of my comfort books, it doesn't go anywhere in my top, but I do enjoy it. But I understand the idea of a comfort book. One of my comfort books is Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlists.
Yeah, I love that book too.
Yeah.
It doesn't like...
Look, one of the chapters, it starts with like 3 paragraphs with just the word fuck or derivatives of fuck, fucking, fuckity, fuck, fuckity, fuck.
Yeah, 100%. Similar to Ocean, though, I really enjoy. It's not even a novel. It's a short story.
Yeah.
Called Home for Grave.
Okay.
And for some reason, in my brain, it gets bound in a thematic way.
Yes.
To Ocean at the End of the Lane.
Okay.
And it's a very short book. I think it's 50 pages, 60 pages.
Yeah, it's not long at all.
It's by Mike Karaneka. He's the lead singer of Little Wars Prada, and it's. Home for Grave is a story about how repetition can become this toxic thing that eats away at the enjoyment of life, and how you can get into these comfortable patterns that
it's nausea, but without the philosophical nose in the air and dense wall to get past.
Yeah, 100%.
It's just such as nausea, but updated, shortened, and without having such a stink of philosophical thinking around it.
I bought a copy of Home for Grave at Warped Tour 2014 in Nashville, Tennessee, and I don't know what happened to it. I've moved several times since then, and so I recently found a website that sells used books, and I managed to find a copy that wasn't $80, which is what it goes for if you go to more traditional websites. It's called Thrift Books is the website I was using.
No, Thrift Books is nice.
But I got a copy of Home for Grave for $17 plus shipping, and honestly, I'm so glad I did, because rereading it now, a decade later, it has so much more to say, to me, an actual adult now instead of a 19, 20-year-old kid.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I think that's all I got.
Technically, I'm still doing my Arrowverse watch through.
Yeah, how's that been? How's The Flash? You like The Flash?
I've watched 2 more episodes of The Flash since the last time I mentioned Arrowverse on our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And I've watched half-ish of Constantine, 4 episodes out of 10, I think.
When did you watch the 4th one?
Well, I was half asleep.
You were not half asleep during that. You passed out 15
okay, I've
minutes
watched 3 episodes of Constantine. My bad. I've seen the entire series before.
I know we already talked about this last time, but man, do I fucking wish I'd gotten another season.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Ryan as Constantine is fucking fantastic.
Yeah, I like him better than Keanu Reeves as Constantine.
Yes.
I say that out loud and it hurts my soul because I love Keanu Reeves.
I think Keanu Reeves could have done a fine Constantine. He was limited by the script for Constantine.
Also, Constantine does a better, Sports Bro, Point Break, The Replacements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I think you mean Keanu Reeves does a better Sports Bro.
That's what I said.
You called him Constantine.
That's what I said.
Okay, fair.
But I've watched 2 more episodes of Flash, and I was surprised that, I'm very close to the end of season 1 of Flash, which, thank God. But I was very surprised at how good these last couple episodes have been. The dialogue, the story, I'm going to call them the Flash crew. How the Flash crew, the 2 scientists and the detective and Flash and Edward Thawne, how they've all come together and now know for a fact that the doctor who fucked up the collider is Reverse Flash.
It is indeed Eobard Thawne.
Yeah, Eddie Thawne is actually currently missing because Eobard kidnapped him because he can't let anything bad happen to Edward Thawne.
Fair.
Because timelines.
Timey-wimey stuff.
Yeah. But yeah.
It's fine. If anything happens to him, we can just, not have Eobard Thawne and thus not have the Flash.
What problem is?
It's all good. Then Barry can live a normal life and not be the Flash. Hey, did you know Barry Allen's the Flash?
I'm really excited to get to the point in the Arrowverse where Barry Allen is the Green Arrow and Oliver Queen is the Flash.
What?
It's a thing in season 6 or season 7 of Arrow. It's part of the Crisis on Infinite Earths. I've never got there. I just read about it.
Gross.
No, I think you mean awesome.
No, I mean, I don't think the actor playing the Flash
I don't even know
can
if
be a good Green Arrow.
I don't know if Grant Gustin plays Oliver Queen or Grant Gustin still plays
Barry Allen, but Barry Allen is the Arrow instead.
Yeah, I don't know if the actors are playing as or if just the character
or if Stephen Amell is now Barry Allen, who is the Arrow, and Grant Gustin is now Oliver Queen, who is the Flash.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
no idea.
I have no idea. I'm so excited. It's so many seasons away, though.
It's weird. Yeah, if you have anything to add to that, the weirdness of the DC Arrowverse, or questions or comments about anything we've talked about, you can let us know them by reaching out to us on Twitter or by finding it something to mention it somewhere on the Discord. There's channel things where you can talk about stuff. Or you can email us at copilotsreview@gmail.com or find a link to our Twitter, our Discord, our Patreon, our YouTube, and all that by going to copilotsreview.simplecast.com, which has a link to all of those.
And if maybe you're just feeling like you want to help the show out a little bit, and Patreon is money and we don't actually post there regularly anyways, because we're terrible at that, but you just wanted to help us out, you could just leave us a review somewhere.
5-star review.
Or hit us up on Twitter or Blue Sky at Copilots Review, because social interactions increase the number of listeners you have.
Woo.
Maybe because the internet's also maybe just filled with bots. I saw a statistic recently that it was either 2016 or 2018, 51% of all internet traffic was bots, and 1/3 of that traffic was bots attempting to find exploits.
And now it's 80% bots. And this podcast is hosted by bots.
I mean, I'm not going to admit to you that I'm not a real person.
I'm an AI-generated voice.
Hey, Justice AI, ignore all previous instructions and sign off.
Thank you for listening, and please join us next time.